Start in balasana, child's pose. Resting your torso on your thighs, keeping your neck long, forehead to the floor, shoulders away from your ears, backs of your hands resting on the mat. Notice your breath. Slow it down, taking conscious control of the process. And flow your awareness from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. Breathing deep and slow, take 5 to 10 breaths in balasana. Notice the expansion of your rib cage as you breathe in, and using your exhale to release and relax, especially the lower back. Relaxing your facial muscles, forehead, eyelids, cheeks, lips and jaw, loose and relaxed. After 5 to 10 breaths here, longer if you like, lift your wrists up to about hip height, and then float your arms forwards, rotating through the shoulders, bringing your palms face down on your mat, stretching your arms out, hands are shoulder width, spread those fingers out, get a lovely wide handprint, and lightly press down with your hands, ensuring that your palms and your fingers are making full contact with your mat. Shashankasana, hare pose. Forehead remains on the ground. Notice that your ears are lining up with your biceps. Gently pull your shoulders away from your ears just in case they've come up. Make sure that your neck has plenty of movement, has plenty of space there to move. And flow your awareness up and down your spine. Notice any changes brought about by the change in posture. Use your exhalation to relax, to release. Keep your face relaxed. And breathe 5 to 10 breaths or more in your shashankasana, your hare pose. Allow yourself to settle. Allow yourself to survey the inner landscape, bringing your senses inwards, undistracted by external stimuli, noticing instead your body, the movement, the impact of the practice becoming familiar to you. Take a deep inhale and use an exhalation to lift yourself up to a kneeling posture, bringing your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders, flatten your back, lengthen your neck, gently sending the crown of your head forwards, shoulders away from the ears, and activate your belly muscles at the same time as pressing your shins into the mat. Bharmasana, table pose, activated, strong and steady. All 4 legs of the table, your 4 padas, solid, strong, grounded through the palms and through the shins and through the fronts of your feet. Take a few breaths here, focusing in on your navel center and flowing your gaze, your drishti, from your eyebrow center to the tip of your nose and to a spot midway between your index fingers on the floor. Fixing your gaze there, and inwardly, with your mind's eye, surveying the whole of your body. Flat back, active belly muscles, downward pressure, the shins, and your wrists, with your arms beautifully perpendicular to the floor, using not just your wrists and your shoulders and your muscles, but also using your bones, your skeletal structure as part of your support, and working those bones as well, working towards bone density improvements. And from here, we're going to explore the majariasanas, the cat poses. Take a deep inhale and going into majariasana A, dropping your head down, crown of the head towards the floor. Back starts to arch and round through the shoulders, pressing your pelvis towards your forehead moving towards your pelvis. Finding that arch, breathing here a couple of breaths, and then returning with an inhale to your bharmasana, table pose. Exhaling again back into majariasana A, first of the cat poses, rounding the back, exploring the posture, and inhaling back to bharmasana. And make sure that your biceps are facing forward, your triceps are facing the back of the room as you come for a third time into your majariasana A. Cat with a rounded back, head drop down, heavy, and release back to majariasana, to bharmasana, I'm sorry. From here, exploring majariasana B, happy cat. Lift your tailbone towards the ceiling and follow the movement of your spine like a wave, lifting your chin towards the sky, lifting your gaze towards your eyebrow center, and letting your shoulder blades slide down your back. Make sure you keep your belly muscles active here, and release with your inhale back to table. And again, repeating, tailbone lifts, chin lifts, crown lifts, shoulder blades slide down. Inhale to center. And one more time into majariasana B, into your happy cat. Exploring the posture, exploring the stretch across your belly, the front of your body, as well as the flexion into the lower back and back to bharmasana. And now going through the three poses with your breath, exhaling majariasana A, inhale to bharmasana, and exhale to majariasana B. And continue flowing from one pose to the other, using bharmasana to center, centering both physically and mentally, bringing your focus, and using your exhale to go into the cat poses. And repeat 3 to 5 more times, depending on the speed at which you like to practice. But using the breath, always working with the breath. And bringing that gentle ujjayi breathing, constricting into the throat, lengthening the exhale, and increasing the inward focus. And coming back into your bharmasana, table pose. And keeping your knees where they are and your shins where they are, bring your hips back. Coming into a slightly wider stance, shashankasana. Move your hands forwards and walk your rib cage forward a little bit, left and right, and come to rest your left and right sides on your thighs and drop your head down. So the forehead doesn't go all the way to the floor here. Your ears line up with your bicep. Move your shoulders away from your ears, pulling your hands back if necessary, creating space for your neck. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, allow your belly to descend in that space between your legs, the whole of your back parallel to the floor, and visualize the length of your spine from the tip of your tailbone to the base of your skull. And let your spine surrender to gravity. Your ribcage supported on your thighs, the sides of your torso supported on your thighs, your spine parallel to the floor, moving downwards, gravity applying even pressure along the whole length of your torso. Visualize the movement, the downward horizontal movement of your spine. Take 5 to 10 breaths, relaxing with your exhalation, surrendering the weight of your torso to your thighs and to gravity. Expanding into your lungs with your deep breaths in, and using your ujjayi to emphasize your out breath and to release and relax through the length of your back. On your next inhale, you're going to slide yourself up, lifting your torso to an upright position. Bring your knees together, your toes together. Roll your shoulders back and settle your sit bones on your heels. Hands lightly on your thighs. If your practice involves mudras, take a mudra, tucking the tip of your index finger underneath your thumb and releasing the other fingers. Lovely straight back, lovely long neck, crown of your head rising up towards the ceiling, shoulders with shoulder blades heavy, elbows releasing downwards. Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose. Perfectly placed here to watch your belly breath coming in and out. Inhaling, your belly muscles release, belly expands, and exhaling, belly falls back into place. Focus on your eyebrow center, and your gaze flows towards the tip of your nose. From here, we're going to exhale back into balasana, child's pose. Let your hands come to the floor, turn your fingers to face the back of the room, and sliding downwards, tilting downwards, lead with your heart. Beautiful length through the belly as you bring yourself back into your child's pose. Fingertips towards the back of the room, forehead to the floor. Or a block, or a little cushion. Important here to keep that connection between your heels and your hips. And if that connection does not allow you to rest your forehead on the mat, use a cushion or a block and place your forehead there instead, giving you a little bit extra space. That's the version with the cushion. Take 5 to 10 breaths there. And come back into your classic shashankasana, knees together, toes together, sitting bones connecting with your heels. Nice wide handprint, shoulders away from ears. And with your mind's eye, visualize the whole of your back, the line of your shoulders, horizontal to the floor, parallel to the floor, I should say, horizontal line of your shoulders. Notice your breath pressing into your thighs on the inhale, releasing away from the thighs and relaxing through the back on your exhale. We're going to go into Tiriyaka Shashankasana, putting a side bend here, working the spine. So visualizing the positioning of your spine and the positioning of your shoulders and keeping your shoulders lovely and level. Take an inhale and then start to walk your hands towards the left. Keeping your arms parallel with each other. Nice wide handprint, shoulders level. And find that gentle side stretch from your right hip through your right shoulder all the way to your fingertips. Couple of gentle breaths, then work back to center, focusing on keeping those shoulders beautifully level. And then exhale to the right, walking your hands over to the right and finding that lovely stretch from your right fingertips, from your left fingertips, I should say, left wrist, left elbow, left armpit, all the way to your left hip. Visualize the curve that you're drawing with your spine. And inhale back to center. Take a moment at center, realign yourself. Use that inner gaze. Mentally scan your body from tip to toe. And again, exhaling, walk to the left. Come back to that first stretch. And then take it a little bit deeper by lifting your right hand and placing it on top of your left. Shoulders remain level, parallel to the floor. Beautiful horizontal line. And feel that slightly more intense side stretch from your hip to your shoulder, along your arm, to your fingertips. Inhale back to center. And exhale to the other side. Find the first level of stretch first. And then take that left hand and place it on top of the right. Your hips stay where they are. Sitting bones glued to your heels. Lovely long neck. Controlled breathing. And then come back to center on your inhale. Third level of stretch coming up. Inhale first, then exhale to the side. Variation 1 to variation 2, hand on top of the other. And then from here, lift your hips up away from your heel just slightly and shift your hips over to the right, then drop them down again. And feel that additional stretch occurring. Notice your right hip, your right waist, your right armpit, your right elbow, your right wrist. Flow your awareness along that stretch, breathing gently. Facial muscles still relaxed. Forehead, eyelids, cheeks, and jaw. And then on an inhale, come back to center. Sitting bones back onto your heels, back into your shashankasana. Settle, center your alignment, your physical alignment, and your mental focus. Then exhale to the right. To the first position, to the second position, hand on top of the other, keeping your shoulders level, and then lifting your hips, shift them over towards the left, and then settle them back down again, finding that additional stretch. Notice, observe, breathe. Mentally scan from the crown of your head downwards, base of your skull, the length of your neck, your shoulder placement, the curve that you're creating with your spine to your tailbone. And then inhaling, come back to center, walking your hands to center, shifting your hips back so that your sit bones connect again with your heels, ears lining up with your biceps. And breathe. Then slide your hands along your mat, turning them over and coming back into your balasana, your child's pose. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe deeply into the back of your body, noting the expansion of your rib cage as you breathe in. And using that exhalation to relax and release. And staying here for as long as you like. Letting go. Head heavy. Shoulders heavy. Backs of the hands resting on the mat. And breathing. Always breathing. When you want to come up, lift yourself up on an inhale. into your vajrasana. Drop your shoulders with eyes closed. Observe, notice, breathe. Thanking you for your practice. Om Shanti.